Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to speak more with your personal language learning profile. Can you talk about yourself in your target language? If you've just started learning, chances are you won't be able to talk about yourself just yet, because most language resources start you off with the basics, like the alphabet and grammar, which is good. But that means you won't learn to talk about what's relevant to you, like where you're from, your age, and your interests until much later. But there is a way around this, and today you'll discover what a language learning profile is and how to create your language learning profile so that you can learn phrases most relevant to you. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new resources. This month, you're getting 20 PDF ebooks and workbooks for language learning. There are ebooks on the most common adjectives, nouns, and verbs, slang words and phrases, plus workbooks teaching you greetings, how to talk about time, and much more. You'll see all of our 20 ebooks and workbooks on the inside. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How to speak more with your personal language learning profile. Part 1. What is a language learning profile? Just think of a profile you have to fill out when you sign up for an app. You'd put in your personal information, right? So a language learning profile is your personal information. Your name, age, your birthday, where you're from, your job, your interests, your family, favorite food, and so on. And based on your personal information, you start learning the phrases and vocabulary you need so that you can talk about yourself in that language. So if you write down that your name is John and you're from the US, then your next job is to learn to say, my name is John, I'm from the US, I live in so-and-so, I am so-and-so years old, and so on. What's the goal here? The goal is to identify the relevant phrases and vocabulary needed to talk about yourself. Because face it, you'll need to talk about yourself. Whenever we meet new people, we introduce ourselves and talk about ourselves. Plus, learning the language that is directly applicable to you is much more interesting, instead of random words like zebra, book, and tree. Both sides are important to know, but it's much more fun when it's about you. Self-interest is a strong motivator. But the problem is, most language resources don't start you off with teaching you these phrases about yourself, which also isn't a bad thing. You should start off with the basics, like grammar and the alphabet. But language learning would be a bit more fun if you learned how to introduce yourself as well, right? So that's where a language learning profile comes in. The information you need about yourself you learn on day 1, rather than learning about it on page 77 after 3 months of studying. Once you have a profile, then speaking more of your target language gets easier. You introduce yourself, say where you're from. You can use it to ask a native speaker where they're from. You can then talk about your interests and ask them about theirs. And before you know it, you're several minutes into a conversation in your target language. So to recap, a language learning profile is just a collection of words and phrases that are relevant to you. Your name, where you're from, your age, your interests, your work, your family. You'd learn to say all of that in your target language. Now, how can you come up with your language profile? Part 2. How to create your language learning profile. Is this something anyone can find on the site? Unfortunately, no two language profiles will ever be alike. If two people are learning the same language, their profiles would be completely different because they're two different people. So what can you do? Remember, your language learning profile is a set of words and phrases that are unique to you as a person. So words and phrases related to your age, gender, geography, and interests. Age-wise, 20-year-olds want to talk about different things than 40-year-olds. So think about the topics that you already talk about in your native language, in your everyday life. Geography-wise, you'd want to talk about where you're from, where you're living. Then there are your interests. If you're passionate about sports, you'll want to learn the must-know vocabulary and phrases. If your hobby is learning languages, you'll want to be able to talk about parts of speech in your target language. The first thing you can do is write down a list of things in your native language: your name, your work, your school, where you grew up, your interests. Once you've written out this list, 1. Start learning words and phrases related to these topics. You can do this with our audio and video lessons or our vocabulary lists. For example, if you're interested in baseball, there are vocab lists on this topic. If you want to talk about where you're from, there are lessons that teach you how to introduce yourself and how to talk about your nationality. If you're a Premium Plus member, ask your teacher to help you translate some of these phrases into your target language. 2. As you're going through your lessons, when you come across lines that are relevant to you, save them to the word bank or send them to a flashcard deck so that you can review them and drill them. 3. Learn with our Top 25 Questions You Need to Know pathway. This specific pathway teaches you how to answer the most common questions and answers, like what's your name, where are you from, what are your hobbies, and more. 4. Just use a translator to translate the words and phrases you wrote out in your profile. The translations may not always be accurate, but this is the easiest way to start gathering phrases that are relevant to you, which is the whole point of a language profile. You'll be able to talk about yourself in your target language, and you'll speak more of your target language. So go ahead and try making your own language profile today. So, thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about the 2-minute rule to cracking through the hard parts of language learning. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!